The new Pokemon trailer came out a few days ago, and after being at CO over the weekend, which was really fun by the way, if you want a video about that, put it in the comments. But as for Pokemon, the new Pokemon trailer, there was a lot of new things revealed for the games, for the DLC, and I want to do a little bit of a deep analysis of what was revealed, whether it's new Pokemon, gimmicks, and all that and more. So let's begin. So right off the bat, we can see that this new area of the DLC is based off Japan. This is seen with the statues and a mask among other stuff like the clothing and other stuff like the Pokemon, which I'll get to in a sec. The first Pokemon reveal was Centric line, and the Gliscor line was next. Which, man, I can't wait to use Poison Hill Gliscor. After that, we saw Corphish line revealed. Playing around in the pond was like Magikarp, which, of course, Magikarp is in the base game. After that, we get this shot and the teal mask on the title. Our player is running on a country road, which isn't seen in Paldea at all. So this only means a few things. That one, that this new DLC will be taken outside of Paldea. And more proof of this is stuff like the horticulture, or I don't know how it's pronounced. Horticulture, I don't know how it's pronounced, but you get me. But basically, Japanese based buildings are, and like iconography. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce big words like that in English. It's weird. It seems like we're going to be returning to Johto, or a region near Johto. Johto is based off more traditional Japan, seen by its horticulture and all that. As long as we see a lot of Johto Pokemon being revealed. One example of this being Apom and Gligar, which I'll get to in a bit. After that, the Apom line is revealed next to the Vulpix line, which might mean we might get an Alolan Vulpix, which I know is a fan favorite for many. Also, keep in mind that Gligar and Apom will be version exclusives, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Next up, we got footage of Carmen and Kieran. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, but with Kieran being a more outgoing person and Kieran being more shy. It didn't show that you're battling Carmen, at least you're battling with her like brother cheering her on, and while that you can see that she uses the Poochyena line, specifically Poochyena itself. So it is kind of assumed that maybe you grow along with her as a trainer and she progressively gets stronger and stronger. Next up, the Mega line to reveal, which is probably one of my favorite bug types ever, along with regular Wooper. With Paldean Wooper not being here, it just gives us even more evidence that we're most likely somewhere out of Paldea. Keep in mind that Paldea is based on Spain or Portugal, and Johto is traditional Japan. Next up, we see that little bro mentions the Festival of Masks, and it pans out to our character in a kimono. I believe this is the first time you can see your character outside of school clothes, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And after that, we see like the foretold masks festival, and it's shown, and we get to see Pokemon like Chimecho and Snorlax, a fan favorite, which has been confirmed. Hopefully this gen he gets Slack off, because it is an absolute crime the fact that Snorlax, out of all Pokemon, does not have Snack off as a move. Next up, it's revealed that Okidogi and the trio are also known as the Loyal 3, and we finally get to see in-game models of them, which they don't look as bad as expected. I remember when they were first revealed, and man, I fucking hated this Pokemon because they look so ugly, but they look decent, I guess. And that concludes the teal mask info. We then go to the Blueberry Academy and see its principal. Why is it in the middle of the ocean? Who fucking knows? For the Indigo desk, we see more of a new academy, and we get introduced to Lacey, and see that the Minccino line is confirmed. We also see that our player character decked out in new clothes again. This time, battling clothes, similar to that in like Galar, in an area that is really resembles like a battle area or tower. And from what it seems like, I think they're hinting in like a battle tower coming in, or like something like that, like a whole tournament style thing like we had in Galar. And man, it would be great if we had the battle tower back. I mean, fans would be happy. We've been wanting this for a while. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but if you are, you'll probably like it. We then go and see this game's form of the wild area, which is of course under a dome that's protected by water, and it looks all artificial. There's a clear separation in like biomes, with one being sun, one being sand, one being green, and one being snow, and one being water. Clearly we can see that there's the Blitzeline, the Golurk, a Alolan form of Executor, which means we might get the regular, but maybe not. Since we're only seeing like Alolan Executor in this side of the biome, it's safe to say we're only getting the Alolan form, because the whole lore of the Alolan form is that the reason why it has a long neck is because of sunlight, and assuming that since in this artificial biome, there's a lot of sunlight, so I doubt we'll get the Cantonian form. After that, we got the Solgalicis line, the Whimsicott line, the Metagross line, the Malcrimi line, the Phoebus line, and the Flygon line all revealed. All fan favorites, and there are a few things to keep in mind. First off, we can see Whimsicott using Tailwind. This is a huge plus for the competitive community because at the moment, the only real good like Tailwind users are Talonflame, which is pretty decent in itself, and Murkrow. Prankster Tailwind users, by the way. We can easily see Whimsicott coming in and like replacing that role from them. So we will no longer be able to see Murkrows. Next up, we see Milotic using some sort of move that looks similar to Scold. So we might get Scold back as a form of TM. At the moment, Scold is only like an exclusive move to Volcanion, and everyone who has Scold, it'll remove from. And Scold is a huge move in competitive because this basically makes and breaks a lot of Pokemon if they're good or bad. A lot of Pokemon are bad because they lost access to Scold. And now with Scold back, now we can get to see them, getting back to their former glory. And a lot of Pokemon who are now popular are probably going to go downhill from here. This is really neat because a lot of just water Pokemon just suck right now. And last but not least, we finally get to see Terapagos. And right before the trailer ends, we see the release info, new raids, and mystery ifs. And that's it. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. With each like, comment, subscribe, I'll pet my cat, and she likes pets. Trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. But yeah, please subscribe. Have a great one.